What happened when my dad read every single text on my phone and used them against me? When I was 16, my dad sat across from me at dinner one evening, slid my phone across the table, and told me to unlock it, not as a question, as a fact. I pay the bill, he said. I get access. I watched him scroll through everything. Contacts, photos, messages, notes I'd written to myself at 2 a.m. when I couldn't sleep. It felt like watching someone read your diary while making eye contact. He handed it back without a word, but something had changed. I just didn't know yet how bad it would get. At first, it was small things. He'd mentioned something I'd only texted my best friend Corbin. Heard you had trouble in math. I never told him that. He'd reference plans I hadn't confirmed yet. So you're going to the movies Saturday? I'd stare at him, confused, nodding slowly. He always had this satisfied smile afterward, like he'd won something. Week 3, he started using what he read to control things. I'd texted Corbin about a girl in my class named Ren. Normal stuff. She's funny. She sits near me. I think she's cool. Dad brought her up at dinner in front of my mom and younger brother. Heard you've got a girlfriend. My brother howled, laughing. My mom raised her eyebrows. I wanted to disappear. Week 4. He crossed a line so far, I still can't believe it happened. I texted Corbin, venting about our coach, Mr. Grady, who'd benched me for a game without explaining why. I said some things, frustrated things, the kind of stuff you only say to your best friend in private. Dad forwarded the screenshots to Grady directly. Called it teaching me accountability. Grady pulled me from the team for 2 weeks. Corbin stopped texting me because he felt responsible. I ate lunch alone for a month. Dad didn't apologize. Should have thought before you typed, he said. That night, I stared at the ceiling for hours. Then, I noticed something. The phone monitoring app he used logged every session. Every single time he opened my phone remotely, it left a timestamp. I spent 3 nights going through every log. He was checking my phone 11 times a day. During school, during practice, during the night. He was reading everything in real time. So I built him a story. I created a fake conversation between myself and a fake contact named Russ. Gave Russ a profile picture from a random stock photo site. Made him look like a college kid. Then, over 4 days, I built a detailed fake exchange. Russ was apparently selling tickets to a sold-out concert 3 towns over, happening on a Friday night. I'd agreed to meet him at a truck stop off the highway at 11 p.m. to pick up the tickets. Paid him half up front through a fake payment screenshot I edited in a photo app. Mentioned I was planning to sneak out. Mentioned I hadn't told anyone. Then I put my phone down and went to sleep. At 10:45 p.m., the app logged that he'd accessed my messages. At 11:10 p.m., I heard his car start. At 11:55 p.m., my mom knocked on my door. I was in bed reading. She looked confused. Have you seen your father? His phone is going to voicemail. I shrugged. Maybe he went for a drive? At 12:30 a.m., Dad called from a gas station 40 minutes away, completely lost, trying to explain to my mom why he'd driven to a truck stop in the middle of the night looking for his teenage son, who was, in fact, asleep at home. Mom didn't say much that night. The next morning, I came downstairs early. Set my phone on the table with the monitoring app open, logs visible. When Dad walked in looking exhausted, I slid it across to him, same way he'd slid it to me. Recognize this? I asked. He looked at the screen, then at me. I walked him through everything. 11 daily checks, 2 a.m. sessions, the forwarded screenshots to Grady, every timestamp, every violation. Then I showed him Russ, fake profile, the edited payment screenshot, the concert that didn't exist. He sat there for a long time. Mom appeared in the doorway. She'd been listening. She looked at Dad, the way you look at someone you're suddenly not sure you recognize. You forwarded his private messages to his coach? Dad didn't answer. She took his coffee cup off the table, poured it down the sink, and said, "We're calling a family therapist today, not tomorrow." Dad deleted the monitoring app himself that afternoon. I watched him do it. I never had to say another word.